And so we've started the recording for the meeting, and the structure that we will follow during the session is that we'll first talk about the initiative, and then we will meet our panelists. We have two wonderful panelists with us today. We'll talk about understanding the basics of citation, introduction to citation management. Then we'll have a quick intro to Zotero. We will see the basic process with the demo, and then we'll go on to give some tips for effective citation management, and then some references to where you can refer to later, and then we will have a Q&A session where we'll answer any questions that you might have. So I'll begin by giving a brief introduction about this Kashif initiative that we are a part of. So this Kashif initiative was founded by scholars from South Asia, and we are a group of research students and from South Asia, and we're learning. Uh, so our primary focus is to support research and learning in humanities and social science through training, resources, and creating meaningful academic spaces. This is a non-profit initiative dedicated to supporting research, and our goal is to make process of research and learning a bit smoother, especially when it comes to basics and foundational training. To achieve this, we plan to offer sessions on research writing, research methodology, and tools, while also creating spaces to review and showcase our research work. You can visit our website to learn more about our learning schemes and the scope of our work, as well as our upcoming sessions. I'd take a moment to introduce our wonderful panelists. So we have today Sana and Vidushi with us. Sana is a PhD researcher in the Department of History at University of Oxford, and Vidushi is a PhD student in University of Edinburgh, where she's studying geosciences. Welcome Sana and Vidushi, and I'll hand over the session to you. Uh, Thank you for joining the session, and let's begin.
Thank you so much, Mudabbira, for that introduction. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today. As has been outlined, this session is largely about a discussion on citations, on references, and how do we, what are the tools through which we can kind of do our references, manage our references, insert citations, insert references. Now, why is this important? It is because references are something which have always been a kind of a bit of a troublemaking aspect in our PhDs, in our dissertation, in our research papers. I've seen, and I also was a part of those students who've been doing manual citations. Right, we look at what are the citations of any uh, paper that we are citing. We would go on Google Scholar, maybe copy paste, manually enter the citations, follow the style guides, which is a lot of hassle, and it need not be so because now we have tools which really sort the references for us. So we try to kind of give you a taste of what those tools are look like, how we may use them. But before that, it is important that we understand why citations. What are citations? Why do we need to cite in the first place? What is the whole point of doing citations basically? So let's first move and discuss the basics of citations. Can I move to the next? Thank you so much. Yeah. So citation basically identifies with the reader the original source of any idea, information, or image that is referred to in a work. Now, you would have seen that while we're doing our PhDs, while we're writing a research paper, while we're conducting any research, there are sources that we read, that we quote from, that we refer to, sources that help us develop an idea for a particular project, for a particular thesis, for a particular research paper. But how do we incorporate those sources? That is where citation helps us because it will help us identify the original source of that idea. Now, in the body of a paper, the in-text citation therefore acknowledges the source of information used. And at the end of a paper, we see these citations are compiled in the form of references or works cited list. There's a list, right? After every research paper or in every book, which basically lists out what papers, what resources, what sources have been consulted. So that will form your reference list or the work cited list. But citation, to give you another to just reiterate it again, tells us that where this information has come from. Now, just to give you an example, if I'm talking to a person and I've come to know of some information or a fact from a person, how do I say? I will say that, for instance, let's take the example Vidushi is with me in the panel, right? I would say, oh, I got to know this. Vidushi just told me that this happened. I am quoting Vidushi there. I am giving the reference that I got to know this information from Vidushi. It's the same, really. The logic is the same. You simply tell people that this idea, this information has come from this source. It's not my doing. We don't pass it off as something that we are saying. No, we're just using this for building our idea, but this actually belongs to someone else. This word, sentence, idea, thought belongs to someone else, and we simply give their references. We simply give the source, give the name in the work that we do. For example, this is an excerpt from a research paper there. So you see in brackets, there is a date, there is a page number. Wright concluded, second line, Wright concluded that regime type has little impact on frequency of war. Now, it's not my conclusion. It is someone, a researcher called Wright, who has concluded this in a book or a paper in 1942, page number 841. He's made some conclusions, and I'm simply making my argument by quoting Wright. So whatever he's saying, this on regime might be important for my own work, right? But I need to tell the reader that it's not me who is arguing this. It is this person who has argued that, and I'm simply using his understanding to make my point, to make a comment, to build my own argument, to take my line of thinking forward. So yeah, that's the idea. So these are citations. You can see different authors being cited in this paper. This is an excerpt from a paper. There is Singer, there is Shan, there's Weed, and in the bracket you see the year of the paper from which we are quoting or using their ideas, as well as the page number. Can I go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, now that we have a fair idea of what is citation, what it's supposed to look like, next question is, what are references? Where do these citations at the end come to? So these are compiled together in the end, towards the end of a paper, towards the end of a research, and it is a compilation, it's a detailed description basically of the source of information that you want to give credit to via citation. Now, in the citation you saw, I just put the year in which the book came or the paper came and the page number. But what book am I talking about? This person could have written 3 books in 1942, for instance. Which exactly am I referring to? Now, those details will come in the references. In references, there's a name, there's the title of the paper, there's a journal in which that paper was published, and then there is an exact date as well as the page numbers. Makes the work easier for the person, right? Again, go back to the example I gave about Vidushi. I came to know this because Vidushi told me. Oh, which Vidushi am I referring to? There are thousands in the world, right? I need to know. I might be knowing 3 Vidushis. So, references therefore will help me to tell them that this is Vidushi Shukla, who I met in this year, had said this at this time, right? It just gives a more detailed, a more perfect kind of source so that a person can easily trace the source back. Now, if I'm interested in what has been shared, I might want to read that book also. If Wright wrote something on political regimes which might interest me after reading that source, I might want to go back to that source and see what more did he say. Are there ideas for me to build on? How do I know that? I go to the reference list. I see, oh, Wright had written this book in this year. This is the title of the book. I can search it on the internet. I can reconfirm, recheck by going to the page numbers and by looking at the book, right? So references in the research paper, therefore, are usually in the form of a list at the end of the paper, and they identify, give a detailed description of the source of information that we've just cited in the paper. Can I go next slide, please? Thank you. Okay. Now, citations can be, there are many ways of doing it, right? There could be multiple ways of doing a citation. There could be footnotes and endnotes. So you would have come across, if, especially for those people who are already in research, who are in PhDs or maybe in their masters and are reading research papers, you would come across footnotes, endnotes. in text. What are these and why are these different, right? Why is somebody using in text? Why is somebody using a footnote and not an endnote? Things like that. So let's break this down for you one by one. Let's talk about in-text citation first. Now, these are embedded directly within the text. So you see uh, there's author Dyke, 1998, 106 page number, right? We've highlighted it in the red box for you. Now, this is an in-text citation in the brackets. Why is it an in-text? Because it is literally within the text. I am coming across this resource within the text, right? It's not separately put away in, say, in a footnote away from the body of the paper or in the endnote, but it is within the text and therefore in text, directly embedded within the text. It typically includes author's last name, publication year, and it's very commonly used in styles like APA, MLA, Howard. At this point, I'm sure you will have question like, what is this APA, MLA, Howard? We will get to that. Just bear with us while we get to that. These are citation styles, but what exactly it is about, we will also get to this. So the point of in-text really is to give us quick, concise reference to the reader. So I'm using, and it's been quoted, the practical ideological aspects of dash 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 brackets Dyke 1998. So I know that this information has come from a source written by someone called Dyke in 1998, page number 106. I can go to the reference list and check who's this Dyke, what is the title of the paper, in which year it was published, and I can search that paper for myself online. Can we? Yeah. Now let's come to footnotes and endnotes. Now the other way of doing it is through footnotes and endnotes. Now, citations which are placed at the bottom of the page, which are basically the footnotes, right? If they're placed at the end of the document, they are called endnotes. Now, this is different from reference. Don't get confused. So here you see footnotes. It's 6 and 7. Immediately at the bottom of this page, 6 and 7 will be expanded upon. So I know that this 6 matches the 6 by Immanuel Kant. So I know that this information or this source is cited or was used or was talked about by someone called Immanuel Kant in the work called An Answer to the Question, What is Enlightenment? In the book Perpetual Peace and Other Essays. Uh, so it's literally at the bottom of the same page, which is basically your footnote. It's often numbered to correspond with references in the text. So 7, who is 7? Kant. Uh, and it's very commonly used in styles like Chicago and other similar formats. They basically allow for additional commentary or explanations alongside citation. So if I have to give some additional commentary, I can easily add that further in the footnotes and the end notes. They give me the descriptions. Now, footnotes literally at the end of the same page, end notes will be at the end of the whole paper. Not the end of the same page, but the end of the entire research paper, at the end of the entire chapter. Similarly, it'll correspond to the number of references. So this could be 7, could be Kant, but it'll just be different in terms of placement. It will be literally at the end of the entire or the whole document. Can I move to the next slide, please? Thank you. Now, having described references, citations, footnotes, endnotes, let's just maybe distinguish these three. Oftentimes we hear people using it interchangeably, but there's some brief differences that one should always take note of. So a reference list is a complete list of entry. Basically, it lists details of the sources used in the work, author, title, publisher, year. It is found at the end of the document, and it provides full information to locate the source. Citation is a brief mention of the source within the text. So it could be either in text, the one with the brackets, it could be footnotes, literally one at the bottom of the same page where the source is being quoted, and third is in the form of endnotes. Typically includes author's name, publication year, and sometimes page number. It points to the readers to the corresponding reference in the reference list or bibliography. And now, what is bibliography? Now, a bibliography is something broader than a mere reference list. It consists of all the sources consulted during the research process. What is important to note here is that it includes both cited and non-cited works. Now, what I mean by non-cited works, I simply mean that some work or some book or some paper or some source that you will consult in future. You haven't yet, but you know that this is an important part of my work and I will get back to this work at some point. Therefore, it will come in your bibliography. So bibliography, all the sources in the bibliography have not necessarily been cited, but you will cite it at some point. So it's more comprehensive and often used in styles like Chicago. I'll get to that eventually. I hope the difference is clear. Now, having a fair understanding of these important concepts, now let's get to discussing what is citation style guides. Now, how do you style your citations? By style, I mean, so it's not like a hairstyle or something, but these are style guides. They tell you in which way or manner do you arrange your citations. Should I do an in text? Should I do an end note? Should the author's name come first, or should the date of the book come first, or should the page number come first? How do I know? Should I separate them by a comma, or should I separate them by colon? These informations are told to us or instructed to us by citation style guides. Now, these are standardized systems for formatting citations in academic writing. They ensure that a consistent and accurate referencing of sources can be done. It consists of an in-text citation, how references are or sources are used within the text. They consist of a reference list or a bibliography. There is a particular formatting which is important and which is the distinctive feature for every citation style. It tells you how to use punctuation in that citation. What style do you use? How do we do italics? How do we use quotation marks? How do we use single quotes? Right, and therefore the next question is that how do we choose a citation style? So you can simply ask your professor, what citation style do you want me to follow? You can consider with the publisher if you're publishing a book, or you can consider the subject and the discipline. Sometimes universities also have specific style guides which are very specific to particular universities. You can consult with them also. Or otherwise, there are certain common citation styles which we are going to tell you about. If you know, and if you know that these are okay with your university okay with you using them, you can use those citation styles. Now, what are those citation styles? Let's come to that. This is one style, it's called APS style. On the other side of the screen is the MLS style. APS style is commonly used in social sciences, say for psychology, education, etc. It is to do mostly with in-text citation format. So you will have a text, an in-text, basically, the reference embedded within the text in the brackets. Author's name, okay. So if I am using it, my name is Sana Shah, the last name will come Shah, comma, which is in the book 2024, comma 2024. It's really Shah 2024, wherever I am being cited, for example. Uh, so we have Smith, someone called Smith, who's written some book being cited, Smith, comma 2020. Tells me, okay, there's this author, Smith, written a book 2020. And then finally, the reference list is formatted something like this: author, year, title of work, publisher. So it could be Smith, say, the cricketer, famous cricketer. Let's just use an example, Graham Smith, right? Graham Smith, it'll be like Smith, comma, Graham. The surname is first. Then you have the year, say 2020, full stop, title of the work, and then who the publisher is. This is simple APS style. Now, the idea really is to have consistent format. It's not a good practice if you're using APA, MLA, Chicago all in one document. For instance, if at one place you're being using it in text and now use a footnote, I am confused, or in fact, if you use a colon, replace the comma with a colon, the meaning changes. It becomes a page number. So I am confused. If you are using everything in one document, I am confused as to, are you referring to the year of the book, or are you referring to the page number of the book, right? It's confusing to me. Uh, Therefore, it's very important that we use a uniform style guide. And therefore, you have these different style guides, which humanity has been able to come up with. So APA we discuss, MLA looks something like this. It's again used for humanities, literature, philosophy. There is in-text citation format. It also has in-text citation format, which means, again, brackets may, the name of the author, the page number, example. Example, see the example here. Smith, not necessarily after Smith we have a comma, right? Could be different. So how the comma works is very central. How the punctuation works is very central to these style guides. And if you look at different style guides, the format changes, varies from one style guide to another, which we need to be careful about. Can we go to the next style guide, please? This is the Harvard style. It's mostly used in business economics, also in social sciences. It has index citation format, author, comma, year. Example again, Smith 2020. The reference list format is a little different because here you have the author, year, comma, title of the book, edition, publisher, place of the publication. So rather than having a full stop in between, the difference is a comma. See, a comma can change the entire citation style for you. So it's important that we stick to a uniform style guide. Chicago style has two systems. One is notes and bibliography, which means you put endnotes or for footnotes, and then there is author date. Again, author date is Smith 2020. Both works. Now it really depends which system do you want to take. Do you want to have the in-text author date, or do you want to really have the notes, have an end note in place, right? So example, author title, publisher, year, comma, page number. That's one way. The other is author date, which is Smith 2020, comma, 23. Smith is the name of the author, 2020 is the year, and 23 is the page number. So I exactly know that, okay, 23 page number in a book he's written in 2020, that sorts the thing for me, right? So these are different styles. You can always consult them, and we'll obviously upload these materials on our website for you to have an easy guide with you. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, so now we go to introduction to citation management. So for now, we've learned fair deal about what is citation, what are references, what are in-text, what are footnotes, what are endnotes, why do we need references, why do we need to give credits to a person who we've just quoted. It is, of course, one of the good practices to have. You do want to give credit so that I can trace back that source, and it's important, especially when the idea is not yours. You don't want to have all monopoly over the idea which is not yours, right? And all academia really is about quoting one another, bringing and building up the body of literature. But how do we now manage this citation, right? For now, we learned what it is. But how do we incorporate this into our work? How do we insert these citations into our thesis, paper, or research that we are doing? What are the tools that can help me? So, if you just look at what we decided so far, there's so many commas, punctuations that one needs to keep track of, right? If I'm to do this manually, it's a lot of work for me. I need to be really particular about, am I using comma correctly? Am I using the colon correctly? So, therefore, humanity, thanks to technology, has come up with tools which can help you ease this work, which automatically, once you tell them the style you're using, they will generate bibliography for you in that style, right? So it basically is a process of organizing research, citation management now. And I think Vidushi from here will take on, and she will teach you how do we manage citations, how do we organize literature, and what are the tools that we probably could think about when doing citations. Over to you, Vidushi. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Sanam. Am I audible? Just to check. Yes. Okay. So I'll go ahead. So obviously, we've given you information about citation style guides. One must also remember that when each citation style guide, as we saw, it changes with each punctuation changing. Also, what changes is that how you cite a book is different from how you cite a journal article. It's different from how you cite a movie or a recording. So it will vary. Now, there is a lot to remember here, a lot to process. And that is why you don't want to be doing it manually. We have all been there, we have done it manually. There have been times when I have written a research paper in much lesser time and spent 1 to 2 hours in just writing the reference list, manually putting all those dots and commas and referring ones again and again. So it's important that we use the tools that are available to us. And these tools not only help us in automatically generating citations for us, but they are also important because they help you organize your reference lists, your reading lists. It's like a shelf. So in a shelf, you have your own library basically, which is online instead of a physical library, where you can nicely arrange books in different folders, in different sections, and then you can, each time you want to take a reference, you can pick that book, exactly point out where have you taken the reference from, which page number was it, which year publication it is, and it all makes your work much smoother. Also, what it allows you is that it prevents plagiarism, as Sana was saying, because in academia we are building on each other's works, we are having a conversation with others works, so it's important for us to also signpost that this is the work I am in conversation with, I am trying to have a dialogue with. And if we want to do that, we want to cite it correctly so that people can know exactly what work I am talking to, which definition of this person I am taking and drawing from and I'm building on. And that's why it's important to cite sources and to correctly cite them. And that is why, and it's also, otherwise it is considered as theft. It's like I've taken somebody's work, what they thought, without giving them credit for it, and it's a theft, which we call plagiarism. And that's why it's important to correctly cite. And as a thumb rule, which my supervisor told me, it's always okay to oversight, to cite more, but do not undercite, as a thumb rule for plagiarism. So let's go ahead and find what is citation management. So we've learned what is citation management. Now, why use citation management tools? The reason is that it saves you time, most importantly. And then also it allows you automatically to to follow a particular standardized method of citation style guide. Now you don't have to constantly refer to the style guide if you're using tools, because the tools will automatically generate your references in the required format. And how that will happen, I will take you through that. So, and it allows you now, because you're organizing everything properly in an online source, it is easy for you to retrieve sources, to search for sources. You don't have to you read something, you forgot about it, now you're writing it, but now you don't know where did you take it from, you've lost the source, and it takes 1 hour going down a rabbit hole to track what source was it. Maybe going down your Google search history, checking, oh, I read this on this day, this on this day. Too much work. Rather, citation management tools allow you to save your sources, to refer to them at a later date and exactly point out, okay, this is the idea I took from here, and cite it in your work. And it allows collaboration with peers. That's a function that we will talk about, but only briefly. I will not go into details of that. So, what are the common citation management tools? Which are the softwares available for it? Now, the popular ones are Zotero, EndNote, Mendeley, RefWorks. Uh, but we are going to just talk about Zotero. Each of them has their own pros and cons, some benefits, some drawbacks. But in our constant usage, we have found Zotero and EndNote to be two very useful tools for citation management. We are going to demonstrate the use of Zotero. We can later on maybe have sessions on EndNote if that's something that students prefer and want to. So, but this session will just be about Zotero and basics of citation management with Zotero. Zotero can be used for more purposes than citation management, but we will be dealing with how to generate citations using Zotero. Okay, now let me go ahead. Now, this is a quick introduction to Zotero. What is Zotero? Now, I'm talking about Zotero so much, we've heard about it. Now, what exactly is Zotero really? So it's a tool, it's a software that you have. It's an open source free software. What do we mean by open source? It is that you can, it's freely available. You can Google it, Zotero, and you can install it free of cost on your devices. We have shared on your mails, we had shared some guidebooks to download Zotero with the steps of how to install it on your device. You can download it on your laptops. So please have it on your laptops, but you can also download it on your phones as your Google Chrome extension. So there are two, I'll talk about what I mean by extension, but basically trying to say that it is a free software which you can freely download from the web and use it for generating citations. It helps you organize, collect. It helps you, first of all, collect all the reading material. Then it allows you to organize that reading material in an online library and then helps you cite it. Three functions it enables you to do. And the key features that it has are as follows, which is it, and these are most important features, but I will demonstrate it more than explain it, but I'm just flagging it here, is that it allows for a web browser integration, which means, what it means I'll tell you later. We'll go into that. It it supports multiple citation styles, which means that you can do Harvard, you can do MLA, APA, Chicago, and there are more. Different citation styles are available on Zotero, and you can, depending on which department you are in, which journal you are submitting to, you can choose your citation style guide. There are various options to choose from. It allows for attachment of PDFs and notations. This is a function we will not go into, but it can also act as a PDF reader. You can read on Zotero and also make notes. I will not be talking about it much because we are dealing with just citations here. But if there are questions in Q&A, we'll be happy to answer. And you can also create group libraries. Again, something we can answer in Q&A. We are just going to deal with citation management today. Okay, so next slide. So this is how the portal of Zotero looks like if you see here. Now on the left hand corner, when you install Zotero, it doesn't look this filled. This is somebody's reading library, but I'm just trying to tell you how it looks. So when you open Zotero, you will see on the left hand side you have your folders. Now this person, if you see in under my library, they have dissertation folder, and then they have chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4. They have added all the reading lists of that particular chapter in that folder. So whenever they go to chapter 1, all the works that they will be using in that chapter come here in the central panel that you see, which has the title of the work, the creator, the author's name, the year in which it was written. And on the right hand side, what you can see are I have chosen this particular blue thing, which is one article. And you can see all the details of that article. What is its DOI, its ISSN number, its title, its author. I'll show it all to you, but this is how the portal looks like. We'll go to the next slide. What is the basic citation process with Zotero? Now, this is the most important bit. How do you cite using Zotero? How does it make your work easier? So one is that you collect sources. There are various library catalogs, websites you can use to save your references on Zotero on an online library. Then you organize it in different folders. You put those sources. Then you cite it in your work and you generate bibliography. I will be demonstrating all these steps through a video. So this is a quick demonstration. I'll start a video. And then I'll just follow it and I'll tell you what are the steps I'm doing. Just a second. Yes. Yes, now I'll start it. So as you can see here, this is how the Zotero port looks like. You can see here, as I said, the left-hand side has the names of all the folders, right? Here, like this PhD literature, my writing, my library, all the folders. Central pane, which is empty right now because I've not saved anything in my publications, it is empty. This is the reading, the list, where the list comes in. The right side, which says no items in this view, has the citation details, all the details of the reading list that you will choose. Now I'll demonstrate how this. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create a separate folder in Zotero for saving my reading list. So what I do is I go to my library, I right click it and I go to new collection. And then, so I right click it, I choose new collection, a dialog box appears and I write the name test folder and I create the collection. So when you will see a new folder has come up on the right side called the test folder. It is empty right now. Now I'll add reading lists to that. I will add my references to this. Okay. Now what do I do is, so in the test, there are different ways to add references. Right now it's empty. Let's start adding references. How do we add? One is we can add it manually. So you go to the first option. As you can see, there are 4 options on that pane where my cursor is. The first one, which is a drop down where you can manually add it. It is giving you option, whatever you want to add, whether it's a book, whether it's a journal article, whether it's a report, whether it's a book section, you can choose. Now, suppose I want to add a journal article. I choose a journal article and I will, now in the right hand side, you can see all the list has come up, right? It shows item type, it shows the title, the author, the publication, everything. What I can do is I can manually add the details. So what is the title of the work that I'm referring to? Home and homelessness. The author's name I can add. Okay. But then you will ask, then what is the use of Zotero? I am already typing and filling in everything. Why should I be doing this? Exactly. We don't have to do this. This is a method of manually adding the details on Zotero. This you will mostly not be doing because most of the sources you will be using are online available, and Zotero will automatically take the information and save. I'll show it how that happens. This can be used as a method when suppose you are reading something which is very old. You have gone to an archive, you found a very old text written in some 1900s. There is no online, there is no ISSN number it has. It does not have a specific number, no online record of it. So then you can manually come and add the record here, and all the details you can fill in. You don't have to fill all the details, the required details, the item type, title, author, publication, and stuff like that. So this is a method we will mostly not be using so often. The second method is very important, which is the second option that you can see where my cursor is. It is add by identifier. So you know all the journal articles, I'll show it, have the DOI numbers, the special identifiers. The books have ISBN numbers, okay? So what you can do is just on this option, when you click, it gives you an option to add that DOI number. So I will go to my Google Chrome. I have a research article open. You can see in this research article, this is the DOI link here. What I'll do is, suppose I went and found this research article, and when I opened the research article, I found the DOI number. I will just go and copy paste this link. From here, I will copy paste it to my Zotero. So as you will see, I copy paste it, I enter it, and then automatically you will see Zotero has taken, I didn't enter anything. Automatically on the right side, Zotero has taken all the details. The item type, the title, the author, all the details have automatically come up. I don't need to enter any other details myself, right? This is the second method of adding directly. The third option of adding is, suppose you have already downloaded the article and you have saved it on your downloads folder, and you just need to add it on your Zotero reading list. So just go to the third option, add attachment. You go to add file, choose your article, and press enter. Again, see, I just uploaded it here, and automatically Zotero has taken in all the details. It has generated all the citation details for me, right? This is the third option. The fourth, which is the most important and the most useful option of adding anything to Zotero, is the one that I'm going to be talking about, which is the extension bit that I was saying. So when you're installing Zotero, you install it on your device, you have got the software, which will get you this portal that you can see with all that reading pane, everything that will come. It gives you two other options. It tells you add Zotero as an extension to your Google Chrome and as an extension to your Word software. You have to add that there are steps. We have shared the guidebook with you. Add it as an extension to both these places, to Word software where you will be writing your research paper, and to your Google Chrome or any web browser that you're using. You're using Google Chrome, or you're using Bing, or you're using any other web browser, Mozilla. Just add Zotero as an extension to your web browser. What that will do is, you can see there will be you'll have a button like that appearing right on the side, where my cursor is there, and that has it is like a puzzle almost. It looks like a puzzle, and so there you will. It is already, my Zotero is already added as an extension. Now suppose I'm googling something. You're traveling in a train. You saw this article and you are reading it. You found it very interesting. You want to save it. Mostly what happens is it gets lost. We don't save it. Then we can't trace what we read, where we read, what did we do. What this allows you as the extension, it can be even added to your mobile devices, if I'm not wrong. And easily what you can do is just press, you go to extensions button. You found this article, go to the extension button. You will see it comes down, drop down like this. Choose Zotero connector. When you choose, it will say saving to test. You can choose which folder you want to save this in. And I choose the test folder. Automatically, when you open your Zotero, it has been saved to your test folder. All the details it has taken itself. So do you see? Now, this was a journal article. Now, suppose you're reading a newspaper article. You're working on India's education system. You come across a newspaper article. Again, very important for you. You need to save it and record it. The same thing you can do. Just you have found this. Go to extensions, save it to Zotero, save it to the folder, test folder, and you will see it has come. Now, what I want to draw your attention to is that sometimes Zotero may not properly identify the type of the work. So here, if you see the item type, it is identifying it as web page. Can you see in the right hand side, the first entry, it is web page. I don't want it to be a web page. We know this is a newspaper article. So, but I can change it. So you can make some manual changes to some citation details if they are wrong. If there is something entered wrong, you can correct it. So you can choose web page, newspaper article, just that. And the author's name is missing. I'll just go add author's name here. So this ways you can make slight changes in citation details or add more citation details if needed. Mostly it takes correct and accurate details. Zotero is quite accurate with its citation details. Now I have got entire reading list on my pane. Let's start writing the articles. So I open my Word file. So just a second. Yeah, see, now I have my Word folder open. I am going to start writing a research article. Now what you see here is that I have already added Zotero as an extension. That is why what you can see is Zotero appears as a option there. Right? Can you see on top, Zotero is already an option where my cursor is. It is already added as an extension. So usually you don't have that appear on your Word file, but once you've added Zotero as an extension, it will automatically appear there saying Zotero. Now you start writing your research article. Now, how do we use Zotero to cite? I have already got my online library there. Now I need to enter in-text citation. What I do is I go to Zotero, I choose add or edit citation. A dialog box appears. Now I can type the name of the author if I know the author's last name, Sinha. So all the work that Sinha has written in my library, it will appear and I can choose that. So either you can do by author's name or in the title, the word home appears. I want an article where home appears in the title. So I don't know the whole title, but I just know the word home is there in my title. So just search by title, home. So in my library, now it will not only show me the library that I'm opened right now, which is the test library. There are other reading lists saved in other folders as well. It will show all the articles that have the word home in them in my library, and I can choose the one that I want. So as you can see here, I want the one with home and homelessness, and it is there. I can choose that. Now I will choose the article by the author name Bates. I have the article and I enter. See, automatically it has taken the in-text citation. I didn't need to do anything. It has automatically generated the citation for me. Now suppose I need the citation with page number, because you are directly, sometimes when you quote in the quotation mark, you are taking exact sentence from one work and putting it. You need the page number. So how do you enter a page number? Choose the citation, choose the work that you want to put, click on that work. It comes in the dialog box, click on that dialog box. Then then a dialog box opens where it says page. Just put the page number, press enter, and you will see the page number has appeared. Now the third option, which is you want to, sometimes what happens is you want to omit the author's name, in the sense that I suppose I write something and I'm saying, just take Deepa Sinha's work. I'm saying Deepa Sinha says this, that the Indian education landscape is this. Now, when you're citing, you've already used her name in that sentence. You don't want to be using her name, surname again. So I'll just demonstrate the point to you. So suppose I choose the name Sinha 2025, and you can see here Deepa Sinha says I want to enter citation omitting author name. Because Sinha has come here, again saying Sinha 2025 doesn't make sense. I just need to note the page number if it is available and the year of the work. So I can omit the author's name. So what I do is I click on it, I again click here and I press omit author. I choose omit author and I press enter. Now only the year appears, author's name is gone. That's the third thing. And the last thing that I want to just note in terms of citation, that if you want to cite multiple authors, now suppose there is an argument a lot of times is said about many people. Suppose displacement is a thing many authors have talked about. And you want to say That displacement is a very critical issue which several authors have talked about. And in the in-text citation, you want to give names of all the authors together in one place. How do you do that? So you choose all the works, type Sinha, get one article. Then type Blunt, you get another article. Type Bates, get another article. You've got all your articles together and that you want to cite in one place. It's come. Now you can also arrange these articles year wise. You can move from one place to another within that dialog box. You can shift, just move, arrange as you want to arrange, and press enter. All of them will appear together. So these are different ways you can cite using Zotero. Automatically all citations are being generated. Now how do I generate a reference list? Simple. I want to generate a reference list. I click, this is the easiest. You just go, press on add or edit bibliography. The second option, automatically all the works that you have cited have come in together. You didn't have to do anything. The third option you need to note is that, of course, you have to choose your citation styles, right? You can, it allows you to choose your citation style. In the option document preferences that you can see on the side, on the Zotero option, you can choose which citation style you want to use. You want to use Harvard, currently it is in Harvard. But suppose I want to use instead Chicago. I can choose in this option Chicago. You can see so many styles. I choose Chicago. I press enter and you will see automatically everything has come in Chicago. So reference managers also allow you to update your citations very quickly. You've written something, you have written it in Harvard, and you realize, but I need it to be in Chicago. So then you can just easily update your citations if you do it using citation managers. Now, finally, tips for effective citation management is that we take a breath. Sorry, I know it's been long. It has been long, but I hope the demonstration was helpful. So, the tips for effective citation management is that regularly update and organize your library. Keep saving references to your online library. Familiarize yourself with different citation style guides and use the correct style guide and be consistent. Use one style guide for the entire document. And back up your library to avoid data loss. I can explain just, I will not go into that whole point again. I just want to say one thing that uh, in Zotero, you will see here, as you can see, uh, this option, there is a circle on the right hand side. That's sync. That is the sync button. So Zotero allows you that it's an online library. You can access it from any device. I'm using my this laptop and my Zotero software app is open on this laptop. I can work with Zotero on this laptop. But I may not have this laptop with me. I'm traveling and I don't have the laptop, but I want to work on something. I can use my friend's laptop and open Zotero on it, and all my online library will be available, and I can work on that laptop. How you can do that is when you are opening and downloading Zotero, log in, make your account, log into Zotero. So you have your own account, an online library. Like this is instead of a physical library, you have an online library that travels with you and keep syncing it. So as you keep saving more and more things, just keep pressing this circle button again and again. And again and again, as in like the end of the day, just keep syncing it. So everything in your online library gets saved and you don't lose your data and you can work with it anywhere. Yes, so with that, these are some further links and references you can use. We will share it with you. They have more details. I can talk more about the functionality of Zotero. We don't have that time, but we can definitely have more sessions on more usages. These are certain links we'll share with you. And now I invite you to for question and answers. Please, happy to answer any questions you may have.
Um,
Thank you. Thank you, Sanna and Vidushi, for that insightful presentation. So we'll now move on to the Q&A session. You can raise your hand if you'd like to ask a question directly, or you can type it as well in the chat box, or you can send it as a private message to me or one of the panelists.
Thank you so much. Before we kind of warm up into the question answer session, just wanted to kind of flag that today we really focused on using Zotero to insert citations and to generate a bibliography. But as Vidushi said, there are many functions of Zotero, and gradually Kashf does plan to hold many sessions wherein we can teach you different functions of each uh, reference management software. So today, if we did Zotero, we can do a longer workshop someday on Zotero. We can also do longer workshop on other citation management systems like EndNote, Mendeley, etc. So yeah, this was just to kind of give you a brief outline that see this software exists. Please use it. Stop doing manual citations unless you can memorize everything. It's too much work, and maybe if you want to save time, Zotero is a good option to resort to.
So I think we have our first question. So someone's uh, so NKK is asking, how do we use Zotero with Google Docs? Sana, do you want to take it, or
Mm,
Vidushi? Yeah.
I'll just quickly teach, and maybe if Vidushi has a point, she can obviously add to it. So once you install, just to go back to the mails that we sent all of you, we sent a guidebook where it had elaborate steps on installing Zotero and installing Zotero connectors. Now, similarly, when you install Zotero connector, there is also an option to install Zotero connector for Google Docs. It was not there recently, but now it's there. This development is there. So there will be a Z like symbol. The similar symbol that you have in MS Word is also available now on Google Docs, and therefore you can save your work similarly in a very similar way on Google Docs as well. The connector is available for that. So just go to the document that we sent you. It has elaborate instructions. Similar instructions follow for Google Doc. You can also Google Zotero connector, or a Zotero extension for Google Doc. Google will show you options. You simply have to download it. It'll get integrated with your Google Docs, and you're good to go. Wish, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's what it is. It works very similarly to how it will work on Word doc. It will be a similar functionality, and you can follow those steps. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can see that Ojasvi has raised hand. So yeah, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, thank you for the session, and sorry if there's background noise. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so I have a doubt. So one is that when we use APA formatting and we're doing in-text citation, so one way, as you showed, is that we write a line. This idea is taken from XYZ, and then in brackets we write their last name and the year. And the other way is that while writing, we say that just like you showed, Sinha has said education, and then after that, we put the year in the brackets. I just wanted to know what is the right thing to do in APA, because at some places they write Sinha, comma, for example, 1954 has said education is good in brackets, or sometimes they don't put brackets, or sometimes, as you said, they write Sinha has said education is good, and then towards the end, 1954 in brackets. So I wanted to know how should it be done in APA.
I'll just say this, Ojasvi, that I'll see there is no fixed method, as in like so people do it in different ways. Like what I am referring to, I mostly use Chicago. So if I'm using Chicago, I can say Sinha had said this, and the end of the sentence use a bracket, write the year and the page number if it is identified. Now some people will even again write Sinha year and page number, which is also right, but you're wasting your words. You don't need to. You just there, the author's name is already there. You just need the year, right? Now, what I would request you to do is that, and also you must remember that citation style guides keep updating. So you have a 17th edition, then you have an 18th edition for Chicago, and it keeps updating. And the rules sometimes keep tweaking and changing. So it's always useful if you're confused about which way to go. There has to be a consistency. So whatever you choose it throughout the document. If you're doing it, do it throughout the document. And I would suggest you that there is a very good Purdue OWL page, Purdue University OWL. I can share the link, which gives very up to date resources on how do you exactly consistently cite in what formats and what ways. And I think following that to the line should be okay. So just remember, whenever you're citing, as far as possible, give the year, give the author, but also give the page numbers. Wherever page numbers are available, it is always considered as a good citation practice to give page numbers. And that's what I would say. As for the specific rules for APA, Purdue OWL, I think if you refer to that, you will get exact directions as to whatever the confusion you may have specifically with that, how that can be resolved. But I will also say that there's a flexibility to an approach that author takes and that discretion they have. So that is also there. I hope it answers your question. If not, just be okay to cross question. Also, if Sana wants to add, yeah.
Yeah, that will be very helpful. I'll refer to Purdue OWL and see how APA suggests doing it. Thanks.
Thanks, Ojasvi. Sana, do you want to add something?
No, just the flexibility a bit. I mean, both are correct. There's no, I mean, nothing is just because the other person is also quoting the name and then having the name in the brackets doesn't mean it's wrong. There's flexibility there, but sometimes we have to work with limited word numbers, so I waste a word. Yeah. So in that case, rest
Yeah.
healthy Purdue.
So we have another question in the chat box that says that in case of conference papers which do not remain available permanently on sites, if I need to mention the date of online extraction of document, does it mention the date itself?
Before we get to that question, Vidushi, there's a question before that on MacBook and Google Doc. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I skipped it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Can we use Google Doc as I use on MacBook? Can we use on Google Doc as I use on? Yes, you can use it on Google Doc. But I think Zotero. I don't have a MacBook. Sana, could you say Zotero is available for MacBook, right? Can you
Yeah,
use?
it's available. Yes, definitely it's available.
Yeah,
It's
so
available
you can
on
use it on MacBook. Yeah.
not available though for pages. If one is writing on pages, then you'll have to use something similar like EndNote, which is again helpful. Works similar ways. But you can use Google Doc on MacBook. So yeah, that should be taken care of.
Also,
Yes.
Sahil had a direct question, but first we can answer this question and then we can go to that. In case of
Okay.
conference papers which do not remain available permanently on sites, if I need to mention the date of online extraction of document, does it mention that? Yes, when you are taking, like just now as I showed you, when I took Deepa Sinha's article and I added it as a direct extension, Zotero automatically showed which date it was accessed on. So the access date is mentioned there automatically, that was mentioned there. Also, suppose if it is not mentioned, you, as I was showing and demonstrating, that you could manually enter certain fields in citation details in case they are missing and you think those are important. So you can always do that as well. But in most scenarios, in fact, even for books and journal articles, it mentions the date of accessing it, date, time of accessing it. It identifies it. There is a field there. I hope that answers. Sana, you want to add anything?
I think that answers.
Yeah. And then Sahil's question, which is, can you please talk about a hard copy book? How to add that manually? Also, a PDF file as attachment. So the first step that I showed Sahil was exactly to add something manually. So if you want, like, if when you open your Zotero portal on the pane, do you want me to show it to you?
I mean, he was there in the entire session when this was being played, so maybe you can look at the recording later.
Yeah, when you can look
Yeah.
at the recording, we can share it with you. So you'll see a first option, which is to add file. You can add, so if you have a hard book and you just want to enter the entry, you want to recognize this as part of your reading list, you can just choose book. Then it will give you all the citation details, name, book, and all of that. And you have to enter it manually, the name of the book, the name of the author, the publication date, all of that. Now, suppose you have an online PDF attachment of that book available with you from some source, then you can directly, as I said you, the third option, add file, add attachment. If it's downloaded with you, it will automatically put the attachment, also automatically take all the citation details and fill it up for you. So these are two ways. But if you have a book hard copy available, also, if you have an ISBN number available for your hard copy book, just go to the second option, copy paste that ISBN number. Zotero will automatically draw the online details of it and put it for you on the site. So you have that all the details available with you.
Just to kind of add to it, I think the confusion here is, Sahil, if you have a hard copy which has an ISBN number, chances are that the information of this book is also online. You simply have to Google the book. The Google page will come where there's some details on the book. Open that page and simply click on Zotero connector, which is already on the browser as added as an extension. Regardless of whether you have the hard copy, if it's printed, digitized, if it has an ISBN number, chances are it's there on the Google search engine. Also, you simply have to click that Z again, that puzzle thing of Zotero connector. It'll get added to your database the same way. So yeah, it's not necessary that it's only for the articles that you're reading, but not for a hard copy. If a hard copy has an ISBN number, it is definitely on Google. You can simply search and uh, add it there.
There is a
Thanks,
follow-up
Sana.
question. Sorry, Mudabira. There's a follow-up question from Sahil, which is, can we reference from archive as we have access to a book there for limited time? Uh, you mean like a physical archive? So if you're accessing a book from an archive, which I mean, I think you're meaning like a physical copy of the book from an archive. How do you reference that? Is that what you're asking? Because that's the same thing as taking any hard copy of the book and putting it on your file on your
Sahil,
Zotero library.
just if I may come in, sorry. Sahil, are you with us online? Can you just ask your question directly so that it's more clear? Just give the context. Is it a physical library? Is it a digital archive? What are you exactly referring to?
Hi, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes as I've got access to an archive which is online. Of course, there you can
Online.
borrow a book for a limited period of time, like for 10 days or 14
Are
days.
you
And
referring to archive.org?
yes, yes, yes. So can we use that in our Zotero?
Yeah, it'll be the extension is there. The Z will be all the puzzle icon will be there. Add it or search the book, the name of the book on Google. It'll show you. Add it. It's fairly simple. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
you can add it. ISBN number is one way to add it if the book has an ISBN number. The whole right now we are working with is generating citations with Zotero. We are not using it as a PDF reader. I mean, we are not demonstrating that to you right now. So you can add it through ISBN number. You directly use the extension button and it will come on your Zotero file. So there are different ways of doing it, and you can do it. It will be available. It should not be a problem.
Sure.
Uh,
Not,
yeah,
thank you.
that's okay. We have a question. Mudavira, I think there's a question from Polemy.
Yeah, yeah. So she's asking about generating reference list. Since the hyperlinks do not get highlighted, will that be an issue while editors are reviewing our articles? So I think she's asking about how to hyperlink the references.
So, I'll just go first. I mean, my sense is that yeah, sometimes Zotero does not give hyperlinks to articles. They are not hyperlinks. They come as just normal texts. What you can do, the one thing that is also an option with when Zotero generates this bibliography list is you can make certain edits in the list. Sometimes what happens, it gives extra details on your reference list and you don't want those details. It's sometimes there are very long accessed from details given which are not needed. You can edit that out, you can remove that, and similarly if you want you can add hyperlinks. That is one thing. But as for the second part of the question, which is what is the mandate required by the journals, I think journals also have very specific instructions as to what they need with respect to your articles, what they require, and you can follow their mandates. If you have a confusion, you can always write to them and ask them what do they require. If they say we need the hyperlinks, just enter the hyperlinks. Just you don't have to do anything. You have to just click on it and just put it as a hyperlink. You have to just identify it as a hyperlink instead of the it being a normal text. You make it as a hyperlink text. That's it. That's all you have to do. So just ask the journal, ask what their mandate is, and then accordingly do it. I would suggest that even if you submit, you can always write to them and they give you clear details of what they are expecting.
Yeah. So we have another question from Aftab. So he's asking if our articles is already written and I've done in text citation without Zotero and don't have those references added in the library, then can I still generate the references in Zotero? Hi Vidushi, you are muted.
Yeah, Sana, do you want to
Yeah.
take that first? I mean, I can take it.
Yeah, you can take it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. No, so the thing with Zotero is you need to have your articles online on Zotero portal for it to be able to show it when you're citing. So you're getting, it's like a chain. You have online web sources, different sources you have. You have libraries, physical libraries, you have web sources, you have all of that. And from there, you pick and put them in your online library, which is the Zotero library. And then from there, it goes to whatever on your Google Doc or your Word doc, whatever you're writing. Now, suppose you don't have this done, then there is no link. So it will not show automatically. You'll have to do a bit of the work, as in, like, whatever text you have written, you have, because you have done in-text citation, that's what you've written. You have already done an in-text citation, but without Zotero. Just do one thing, is that for later on it will be a useful resource to do, is that the same text, whatever you have cited, search for those sources, save it to your online Zotero library, then it will show. Then you will have to again cite those places, like whatever in-text citations were there, remove them, cite them using Zotero, then it will generate the bibliography list on itself. Otherwise, it will not generate it. That's what it is. So you'll have to do a bit of a double work here. You'll have to repeat the work, but it will ease your work if, in case you want to update your citations later. It will ease your work for later, for future. So maybe you want to do this now. I don't know what data text you're working with. If it's a PhD, then I know it's a lot of work. But yeah, sadly, it's just how it is.
I mean, even if I was doing it for the PhD, I would still put aside one day and do it again because in the long run, it's going to save me time. So, for instance, tomorrow, if I'm making more papers out of that one article, these references are saved on Zotero forever with me, right? So tomorrow, it'll save me that double work which I might have to do again by manually typing, etc. So whatever time it takes, maybe keep an hour aside. If it's a small research article, I think 1 hour should be enough to have all these citations in place on Zotero, but do it because in future it's going to save you the double time that and the effort that you're going to do by manually citing again. So yeah, maybe just take that time off and then do it because these references get saved forever. It's an online cloud, right? And tomorrow, if you're writing more papers, you can always cite automatically. You not have to do manual citation at all. So do it. Do this for yourself. Build this library for yourself.
So I have another question in the chat box. So someone is asking, how do we use Zotero to do citations in LaTeX?
Sorry, but I have not used LaTeX, so I don't have an idea. Maybe we could do a session on it if we can get some resource person who has worked with LaTeX. But or
Okay.
I could always, we could locate sources for you and share it with you. But as of now, I don't have an idea how does it work with it. Sana, do you have any idea?
I mean, latex is one of those. It's just basically it's the other kind of word, right? We don't have, but
Yeah.
I think in for latest, I think it's not Zotero, but I think it's the as far as I can recall. Just let me just okay. Okay. So I've been told that Zotero can be used with latex, and in fact, it's a popular way of doing it. It doesn't directly integrate into latex, but like it does with the word processor, but it allows you to export your references in a format that latex can use, such as bibtext. So bibtext basically
Yeah.
is linked with latex, and then that's how it gets integrated.
Yeah.
We could possibly go and do a session on latex separately. Uh,
Yeah.
but the basic functionality is that bibtex is the citation format that works seamlessly with latex. And to export your Zotero references, you can select the references for the entire collection you want to export in Zotero. Go to File in latex, Export Library, which is basically right click a collection and choose Export Collection. Choose bibtex as the export format, and then you can save the file and have those references integrated in your latex document.
Yeah, so I'll want to add to it. So I do use latex,
Yeah,
and but
it
I
doesn't
use
count.
EndNote. So I export the references in BibTeX format, and they like go into a notebook format, and then I copied them from there and paste it into my latex folder where I'm working in the tech format, and that's how I am able to generate the references from there.
So basically, it's more like similar to your process. It's just that you use EndNote. Here's
Yeah,
it. It will work in this similar
yeah,
fashion. Yes, you can
yeah.
do.
So do we have any other question? I think we don't have any more questions.
We have. Mudabira, there's a
Okay, okay,
question by Uzair, I think. It says, I
okay.
have already made references for my synopsis on MS Word manually. Can I put it on Zotero comprehensively at once?
You can.
Ha- Sarah, you know how to do it? Have you imported your word references to Zotero?
I mean, no. Again, not you. You'll not be able to import it. You'll have to manually do it.
But
Hmm.
I as I'm searching, so I just googled this, and apparently we can do it. Uh, so it's that we have not done it. So again, the thing is, this is not coming from experience. This is something that we are also searching, googling as you ask us, and it says that when you need, basically it's like Zotero can only identify a particular file format, which is probably, I think, a RIS citation format, or I suppose, I don't know, I'm also not sure which extension it accepts, but you need to make sure that your word citations are in that format, which is not, which it is the doc format which we have. So I suppose you need to change the format, and for that they have suggested a site online, citation finder. I don't know if it helps, but it's like you take your doc file with all your references, put it there, it will generate a file format which Zotero identifies, and then you import it on Zotero. If it works, I don't know. If it doesn't, then there is only one way, is that each of your reference you search, save it on Zotero online library. As Sana was saying, take one day, do it for your work, because it's synopsis. I'm thinking it's not, there will not be that many resource sources, at least what, like 50 maximum. So if there are 50, just take one day, put all those 50 on online library, and then you're sorted for later. Also, we must remember, it's not just about putting an online library. It also allows you to arrange that library in different folders. So you can identify which texts are about. Suppose I'm working on displacement, which is about uh, land use, which is on displacement, which is on rehabilitation, and it makes very easy our work later on when we have to search for right sources. So that is again one another important feature, is to organize your library.
But if we do find more answers to help you, we will definitely make sure that we get back to you on this via email. You can also uh, feel free to drop us emails for particular questions, and we'll figure out ways to help you with it.
Yes, so I'll just add this info on the chat folder where you can contact us
Yeah.
if you have any more questions. Uh, so you can reach out to us. That I've just copy pasted our email. And if you want to stay updated, please have a look at our website as well. And there you'll get information on the next sessions that we'll be conducting. We also have Instagram page where you can follow us to know about what we'll be doing in future going forward. We have a lot of interesting sessions upcoming for the next month as well. Thank you everybody for joining us today. I hope you all enjoyed the sessions and uh, learned from it. We look forward to seeing many of you joining our next sessions as well. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.
Mudabir, if you can add the information to the chat box, it'll be helpful.
I
Also,
did add
yeah,
that. Is it not? Did it not appear? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to do it to everyone.
Yeah, okay. Also, for those of you who are interested in learning more about any specific aspect of research, shoot us a mail and we will organize sessions for small groups, for your universities, for your colleges, whatever it is. If you wanted to help us spread the word, please feel free to do it. And we'll definitely organize more sessions for you in future, uh, tailored to the demands and needs that you flag to us via email. Yeah, Mudabir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I've shared the email ID and you can reach out to us. Thank you all for joining, and we look forward to having more sessions. Have a nice day. Bye.